Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew, where family's everything.
Until it's not. I'm Aunt.
And I'm Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Aunt. How are
Did you love the OC this week, or were you as confused as I was?
It was very hectic.
Yeah, it was confusing.
There's a lot there.
I was confused.
I think you're confused because
they were in different costumes. I really didn't know.
Shannon Beador is trying to really control the narrative around John. I don't think anyone really knows exactly why at this point, because she's controlled it so well. Obviously, some stuff comes out, but I'm so happy they're not together anymore, knowing what we know now and what we're seeing.
Well, what did we know? What, that he didn't pay for anything and he never slept over, and what? I mean, like,
they don't have a good relationship.
Well, a lot of people don't have a good relationship.
I mean, you think Apollo paid for stuff with Phaedra?
No.
Exactly. They had a good relationship for a little bit.
When was the last time Joe Giudice paid for something?
Well, he probably did, but it wasn't his money, and it wasn't money that he didn't know the government.
I mean, who else it pays for everything? Let's go through it. Emily does. Vicki does.
You don't know if Emily does.
Well, Shane couldn't pass the bar exam.
Okay, but that doesn't mean he wasn't making money in other ways. Also, look at Shane's
I don't know. It looked
house.
like he was doing nothing. Oh, I know but I think the parents have money, because look at their house.
So Shane
pays. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I think there's money there, but she's a lawyer. I think that
what's going on with Shannon and John? Why is he dating a housewife?
Why is John dating a housewife?
Yeah, why? If he doesn't want anything on TV. Also, why?
Oh,
it's just the arrogance of Shannon and John to think, oh yeah, we'll film on your boat. That'll be nice. We'll open up there when you get off your Etch-a-Sketch, when you get off your Etch-a-Sketch and you join the conversation at dinner. But the minute one person says one thing wrong, hell no, we got to shut it down.
I know. But that's the one thing Vicki's looking for that's not on her list.
Is what? A boat. Oh, a boat. That was so funny. I love how she goes, and I'd love for them to have a boat, but it's not a deal breaker.
After the 18 things. That was the funny
I was
part.
Waiting for one. Was there one that
you have a list? Have you had a list? My daughter had a list.
Never.
She had a list.
I'd love to see her list.
It was different than you'd think. She had a list.
Well, I'm thought that on
she only had like 5 things on her list, though, not 18.
I thought on Vicki's that we would see the Republican or conservative on there.
Oh, well, maybe just the idea they were wealthy and had a job.
I think she did. I think she described a conservative with everything that she
maybe.
Put on
Well,
the list.
Well, Steve Lodge did run for governor of California as a Republican.
Okay, but she is one too.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying Steve Lodge was a Republican, and she supported his candidacy. And then when he didn't get it, he dumped her.
I applaud Vicki because she's one of the only housewives, even though we know that there's more conservatives on Housewives, but she's one of the only ones that even during like the past, maybe say 8 to 10 years when things have gotten a little messy in politics.
Yeah, she stayed out.
She didn't care. No, she still said it. I believe differently. No, she wouldn't get into it.
Yeah, but she doesn't really get into it. She really doesn't. Nobody really does on this show. They don't say anything. Well,
she did.
Ryan, Tamra's son, he was all in his Trump stuff last year, and I think he's gone to the ranch now. So
as long as it's not Brokeback Mountain, I don't need him near me.
I just want to say that I always wanted a Heidi party. I've always wanted. I want a
party where everyone dresses up as Heidi.
Everybody has to dress up as me because I have a very distinct look, and people could really have fun with it. If you have a very vanilla look, it's not that interesting. But I have a very distinct look, and I would love a Heidi party sometime where all of my friends had to come as me.
Okay.
Guys and girls. I think it'd be hysterical.
Well, maybe we can make that happen.
I did.
Be careful what you wish for.
I know, but that's okay because I'll come as me. I'll be like, Vicki, tell me who had the party in Atlanta. One of them had a party.
With Bolo, the stripper?
No, but one of them, no. Bolo.
I know.
Can you imagine?
Run for cover.
No, somebody had a party there. Maybe it was I think it might have been Cynthia Bailey or someone about 8-9 years ago. They had a come as me party too. I kind of like that. It's the ultimate in egocentric.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it is.
Shannon Beador, it's kind of sad, but when Shannon Beador is at her worst, reality TV is at its best.
It's best. Have you had a pumpkin spice latte yet?
Not yet this year.
Okay. When they were at the pumpkin patch, that's what I thought of.
Oh, yeah. I thought Gina's outfit there was nice for the fall. It's so, you know what I find with Gina is she's so New England and like so New York, like just so Northeast.
Yeah.
That she doesn't fit in all the time. And
yeah, I was overheard this episode. I was just
I have a completely different opinion. I think that what Shannon has done with this is like why I have an issue with Shannon. We couldn't hear the end of it when
I don't even know what was going on.
But let me tell you something. We couldn't hear the end of it when Kelly Dodd got in her business, talked about food, said, why don't you eat what's on that plate? It was all bullying. It was attacking her when she was at her most worst because of her ex and him making her feel bad and her going through the divorce.
Right.
And everyone had to stay clear of that. But yet when you flip it, when the grass is greener for Shannon Beador,
right,
she then go after something with Gina if you want to. Talk about how she brings up Matt all the time. Fine, cool. But to bring up a look when she's on the record saying, I was at my worst during that time. I didn't have time to get my hair done. I barely had the money to get my hair done. I had the kids. I was going through this separation. And clearly we know now she had a substance use problem. So let me tell you something. Shannon really messed with me this week between social media and and yesterday of all days, my 3-year anniversary of my recovery. Shannon Beador is going at Gina on social media, making fun of her.
Gina has been going after her though. They've been going after each other on social media.
Not about weight, not about her look, not about her image.
She went after Shannon because Shannon wore the same outfit as she wore a couple of weeks ago. The outfit Shannon wore on Watch What Happens Live. They've been going at each other.
You don't think there's a difference between?
No, I think they're going at each other.
You don't think it's more comparable to when Kelly Dodd went after Shannon's weight versus when Gina said you wore the same outfit as me on Watch What Happens Live?
No, that's not the same.
Exactly. It's worse.
It's not the same. But Kelly Dodd, her and Rick had a whole podcast this week. Kelly Dodd and Rick had a whole podcast about the restaurant last week and the guy shading her.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying more is good. I think that
I happen to like Kelly Dodd a lot, by the way.
I know you do.
I do. You know why?
Why?
She plays pickleball.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she's got a really cool house in Palm Beach that her and Rick did over, and it has a magnificent pickleball court, and they rent it out like an Airbnb for people who want to have pickleball weekends with their friends.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's not go back. Let's go back to the point. You keep
trying to I'm sorry. I wanted to get that all
in my world, which is Gina's world.
Right.
I cut people out of my life that want to use my past against me.
Yeah. So you thought that her hair having tracks was something to do with her sobriety? Because I don't. No,
it has to do with the place she was in when she was.
But she was a hot mess then. She was a hot mess. Yeah.
But I'm going to try to make it personal now. With me, knowing my full story now, everything I went through, everything I was battling, where you admittedly have said you didn't know it was that bad.
I didn't have any idea.
So when someone shares that truth, like the same way that someone shares sexual assault, the same way that someone comes out about an eating disorder,
right? Whatever them. Yeah.
And you have, and again, if someone says, I need to fix this about myself, I need to get help. I mean, we know plenty of people that have had drug problems and alcohol and addiction problems, and they are in denial and they don't get help. And the people around them rally and are in denial as well.
Right. No, they're enablers.
When people come clean with their truth and people are willing and ready to change, I believe that if you care about someone, you work with someone, you're related to them, that is your time to make your choice of whether or not you are going to be on the journey with them or you're not able to be. And if you're not able to be, trust me, I have plenty of people that I realized early on were not capable of being on the journey with me for whatever reason, whether
they have to be left behind at the station.
They never wanted to move on from something I did to them.
Right.
Maybe they didn't care that much.
Right.
Most of those people I just put in a box of, whatever.
I was going to say, you have to leave them behind. They get left at the station when the train leaves.
How do you leave someone behind that's working with you and filming a show with you? You don't. But also, The one thing that I have really never met with, I've been met with, I've had a couple situations, I guess, is someone that is good to you, supports you, is there for you. But then when they need to, when it's convenient for them, they then take that past and they shove it in your face.
Oh, that's
what I didn't like. It's like, Shannon, you don't like that people
do you think Shannon was really going after Gina its worst? Do you think that was subconscious or conscious with Shannon?
I don't know if the initial intention was,
because I don't think it was a conscious decision. I just think it was Shannon trying to be Shannon. I don't know if Shannon is that malicious, is what I'm saying.
Then Shannon should be putting a post up that says, my intention was never to offend people that are in recovery or have battled substance use abuse.
I mean, I thought that other depictions of people were worse than what Shannon did of Gina.
If Heather Dubrow was on Skid Row in LA and opening her legs all the time for 20 years prior to coming on Housewives, well, then Tamra shouldn't be calling her Heather DeHoe.
Yeah.
But she's never been someone like that. So it's a joke. I just think that Shannon
I see what you're saying, because it wasn't a joke. So you can say Heather DeHoe because she wasn't a hoe, but you can't call out Gina because she was.
How about people that use the word junkie? I don't like the word junkie, right? Now, if I don't tell them that they don't like the word junk, that I don't like the word junkie, how are they going to know? They don't know. So I don't get mad at people when I hear it. I would get mad if someone that I said to them, hey, I don't really like that word.
To use the word junkie.
If they kept using it and didn't care.
So what's wrong with the word junkie? Educate me.
I just don't really care that much for it to be used. Just say someone's an addict. Like, just say they're an addict.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I think of a junkie, though, I don't think of somebody who's even has a car. I just think of a junkie as somebody who's living on the street type of thing, like a zombie. That's what I think of a junkie. I don't know how else to describe them.
I mean, I heard it first ever in my life while I was still using drugs and alcohol, and it was because they called Renee Graziano a junkie on Mob Wives.
So. Yeah. I don't know. I think of a junkie as somebody who's like living on the streets and using. That's me.
Maybe, but I just think that
I don't think of it as
my whole point there is
Renee
that
Graziano.
My whole point is that if you do something wrong and you don't know that it's wrong, apologize. Then you know better.
Where's Renee Graziano right now?
Oh, who knows?
What about the other one? Who was the
Karen
other?
Gravano.
Yeah, Gravano. Okay, so it was Renee. Renee, I'll never forget when she had her full body plastic surgery.
Oh yeah, when she had the big.
It was a plastic surgery nightmare.
I think that was the name of the episode.
I'm telling you.
So what did you think of the costumes?
Oh well,
let's go one by one.
Okay, one by one. I loved that Tamra had her Heather Dubrow HD monogrammed on her Louis Vuitton sweater because she's Heather. And I thought that Gina's was a little mean because she had big, huge ass on depicting Emily. I thought that was a little mean.
But Emily loved it. So why?
Yeah, she loved it. I get it. First of all, and Emily's a big girl. And I mean, when she was arguing,
she's tall.
She's a tall, big girl. I mean, she's still big in these episodes, but she's a big girl. She's not a little, she's a fullback. I thought
Gina's was fine because Emily, like my thought is,
what's her name's was stupid, Jen. And okay.
Are you about to say TA?
Did Taylor Armstrong even
R.I.P. TA? Your days are over.
Tell me something. Did she even change her clothes? I mean, she came in as is. I just thought, well, you didn't put on a costume.
And I'm so happy Tamra called it like it was.
Yeah, like no effort at all. I guess she didn't get the memo.
Not at all.
Nothing. It was sort of ridiculous.
I thought Jen's was cool because think about it. Look what we're seeing. Okay,
the deck. I hang out at the deck too.
Imagine this. Taylor Armstrong has brought nothing. Jen's a first-year housewife on the show.
So
she's only known nothing from Taylor Armstrong. So I think she did a pretty good job for knowing
that's
nothing.
true. She knows she's going to be at the deck.
She did the cat. She did the deck.
The cat was good.
Looked good. The only thing that wasn't good was the hair.
The hair. The hair was too blonde. She needed to tone it down. She needed a little bit more warmth there.
Yeah.
Probably really Tamra was the best.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah, she did a great job. I thought that Shannon did a good job too. Actually, no, I'm going to take that back. Vicki did the best job. She came as herself. And she did it good, though. Came in with the kickstand and the whole bit.
The keg.
She did it right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, she did a kickstand, though.
I love how she said,
is that
my
what you
kids
call it?
going to be offended? A keg stand.
A keg stand. A kickstand.
I love how she goes, my kids are going to be offended. And then who was it that was like, I don't think your kids are going to be any more offended than they have
than what you've ever done. Well,
years.
And then they showed everything she's ever done. And she's done some pretty amazing things, though. You know, she's never had multiple partners. Oh, you know what? Okay, first of all, I'm over the sex games. Please, no more. I don't care anymore.
And also, I will say this. I want to say something. No one caught this, but even, you know, you and I don't dive into anything outside of pop culture and surface level issues on this show to keep it PC.
Right.
So we won't talk about why this is kind of like, I'm going to disclaim it this way, but feelings aside about bisexuals.
Oh,
I thought it was rude that Heather Dubrow, and also kind of shady, that when asked about the threesomes, and maybe lazy is a good word. You went to Taylor. Why? Because she likes men and women. Oh, that was a hard one.
All I could think of is I bet her threesome was with the lesbian on Ozempic from the. Okay, all I could think of is, did you see Jeff Lewis this week? On Watch What Happens Live?
I heard that he said that Heather Dubrow has a masculine clothing style.
Oh, well, he talked about Kyle and he said, oh, she never told me she was a lesbian on Ozempic before. So when Taylor Armstrong brought up that she's had threesomes, I assume it's with Kyle.
No, I assume it could be. It could be.
Kyle has come out. I mean, Kyle has decided she's,
it doesn't really matter. First and foremost,
it doesn't matter, but I'm thinking that
more people have threesomes than you think.
Yeah,
well,
I do
most
too.
Of the time, they also don't have them with people they know.
I.
They don't have them with people they know.
Me, myself, and I. I don't know.
I'm not thinking that Taylor Armstrong's had a bunch of threesomes with people that are well known.
Oh, I
think
do.
That
I bet you Lisa Ren is one of them. Just my opinion.
I don't think so.
I bet so. Oh no. Oh, I know. I bet it's Erica Girardi.
Why do you think it's a housewife?
I think there's other people plus the housewives.
Yeah, but
I can see her with Erica because Erica's got a lot of rumors out there about Erica.
There's more people that were sitting at that table. Actually, any of them, it would have been appropriate. But to go to the one, it was like Heather. What I got from there was like, oh God, the fancy pants also needs to be the one to guess the correct. It was like she needed to pick the most obvious choice of any of the women sitting at the table is the one that has already told them all that she likes men and women. So let's pick that one.
I'm going to tell you, this was the first episode I didn't mind Heather Dubrow. I thought Heather Dubrow was getting picked on a little bit. I thought she was the scapegoat. Isn't that funny? Because we all know I'm not a Heather Dubrow fan, but I thought she was the scapegoat a little bit.
We haven't seen a moment where someone has been so oblivious to their actions
as Heather Dubrow.
Okay. Since Lisa Rinna couldn't remember that she told Eden that Kim Richards was near death.
Right.
When Kim and Kyle were filming a week before and Kim looked the healthiest she's ever looked in years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she couldn't remember.
Well, Taylor Armstrong looked like herself tonight. Emily was good as Shannon.
Yeah.
She had Shannon down. If we're still talking about looks.
Yeah.
She did. It got confusing though, to tell you the truth. I didn't know who I was looking at after a while.
You know my new nickname for Shannon? Shannon storms off Beador. Because she storms off
she broke
6
the
times
wall
an episode.
again. Yeah, but you know what else also made its epic return this episode?
What?
It needs its own hashtag. I might invent it. Ooh, should I say it? Shannon Beador's Spanx.
Oh yeah.
Shannon Beador's Spanx. They come back. We don't see them every episode. They need a hashtag. I might go do that before you publish this. I want to be Shannon Beador's Spanx.
Do you know who Ryan's gonna cheat on Jen with? Shannon Beador's Spanx.
I was gonna say the Spanx.
Did you catch that Emily said that John calls Shannon fat and unattractive?
Yes.
That made me sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think
just
men
because
should
she's
ever
been
call
so
women
public.
fat.
Like imagine Kelly Dodd, that scene at that restaurant.
Yeah.
Like that is very well known. And
I don't think your significant other should call you fat and unattractive.
Who do you think should?
Kelly Dodd saying it in a fight is fine to me. But a spouse or a significant other isn't. Like, that really crosses the line. Like, I think if you're in love with someone and you have certain respect, there are certain words that, even if they're true, should never be repeated. And one would be, if you love someone, you're in a relationship with them for 3 years, calling them fat and unattractive to their face is never acceptable. But a girl you've been fighting with for 5 years calling you that is. Not that it is, but it has a different level. It has a different level.
I think there's a difference. I mean, like, you have to, I think it's all based on attitude, right? Like, if you're sitting around, not exercising, eating like shit, and then you want to complain about your weight, I don't know how a partner can't say, like, listen, honey, like, you're not.
Yeah, but he should never say, he should say,
taking your body seriously,
no matter what, but you might need to get in a little better shape. But I love you still, not like, oh, you're disgusting, you're fat and unattractive. That there's no love there.
Yeah, it would be like, I want you to be healthy. Let's go on walks. Let's go to the gym together. We can spend more time together.
I still love you. I still think you're beautiful, but it's not healthy for you.
Or also, like, I think you're amazing. I think you're beautiful, but you've vocalized that you don't feel that way.
Right. So, and you're on TV.
And you're on TV.
And people are going to make fun of you. So you don't want that. There's a different way to put it. But I think Kelly Dodd can say anything she wants about any of the housewives.
Yeah, look what that did for her.
It didn't do any good for her. You know what, Vicki?
Do you think your mother can call you fat?
Your mother, if you are fat, your mother should tell you.
What if you've just gained a little weight?
If you have gained weight suddenly, and you've never been heavy before, but if you've always been heavy or have had struggled with the weight problem, then you shouldn't be called fat by anybody, because people should understand that's your struggle. Just like, you don't want people calling people a junkie after they're sober. You would say, oh, you old junkie, you junkie, you junkie. That would be cruel. Yeah, and if they're fighting their addiction and going back and forth, calling them a junkie again would be cruel. So if somebody struggles with their weight, calling them fat would be cruel.
You're right. But when Joe Gorga yelled at Kim D and said, you coke whore, that's okay. Because she's not telling people she's doing coke. She's in the bathroom blowing lines.
Well, that's a whole different thing.
Different ball game.
That's a whole different thing. That's different.
That's
calling somebody a coke whore is different than telling somebody they're ugly.
Got it. Now, if someone's 10 years sober from coke, you wouldn't call them a coke whore.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. I hear you.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree with you there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think being fat or ugly. Well, first of all, you can't fix ugly. Though you can fix ugly if you spend a lot of money. I want to tell you, when Vicki arrived, she was missing one thing. Vicki, if you're out there, she should have been wearing one of those old tops they wore. Every single one of them wore like those jeweled tops that were kind of like smocks, and they came together and they flowed. They all wore them with their jeans the first year or two. And I know she still has one of them in her closet. She should have worn them. She said before that she's thrown them all out, but I don't believe her. I bet you she's still got one or two in her closet, and she should have wore one. It would have been great. Vicki,
it's like that Luann top that in that video that we posted today.
Yeah.
One of those sparkly ones that goes over the jeans. So I have a question. Do you want to go open an office and then decide what we're going to do in it? What we're going to do, to spend our time like Eddie's doing?
Oh, she just wants to get rid of Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love how she said, do whatever you want here.
I don't care what you do.
But she didn't say
work.
No, well, she didn't say work. She also didn't say, but you better not bring a girl or something like that.
Well, because those aren't the rumors.
No, you're right. Well, it wouldn't be.
He has different rumors about him.
Those were years ago.
I'm just saying. I'm here to throw a little shade. I'm just saying that I'm just going to say the whole thing. First of all, Tamra looked high as a kite.
Tamra flips. Do you notice that?
Well, that's why I think she's high as a kite.
I don't know if it's high. I don't know if it's cross.
I think she's on something.
I think what it is that
maybe too much of that CBD oil.
I think she's drinking heavily.
Oh, too much tequila? Yeah, but she wasn't slurring her words or anything. Her eyes were glassy. I think she was a little high.
I don't know if it's high. It could be like an Adderall with.
Well, it could be. It could be she's on Adderall and drinking, and it makes you a little,
you're more drunk than you feel.
Like, yeah. Oh, You're more drunk than you feel.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's like the poor person's and the healthier person's cocaine is Adderall when you're drinking.
Oh, it makes you completely high?
No, it just, it numbs you a little so you don't feel the drunk physically.
Oh, so you are drunk, but you don't feel drunk.
Hence why when I would drink and do coke.
Okay.
You drink, so you become drunk.
Yeah.
If it was just alcohol, your brain and your body, your physical and your mental are mush, right?
Yeah.
But when you blow a line, the mental is still mush, but the physical
gets
improves. So then you're a mushy person being able to operate. That's why.
So what do you think Shannon's, what do you think Tamra was?
I mean,
her eyes were glassy.
I don't want to call Shannon a cokehead. I have no idea about that.
Not a Shannon. I'm talking about Tamra.
Tamra. That's why I said Adderall with Tamra. Is that like
her eyes looked glassy to me? Or maybe she had contacts in. Did she have brown eyes or blue eyes? No, because Heather has. That's the only thing I could think of. Did she have contacts in?
I don't know. Remember, we're watching it from a camera through a television.
I know.
A bad shot can make your eyes water.
I want to tell you though, if we're talking about people, the charcuterie was nice.
Oh, wonderful.
It looked like a great
Erin,
shot.
take notice on New York.
Oh, I know, right? But
those were ordered.
Gina did kind of turn me off a little bit. Like I said, you didn't have a problem with her. I think I don't know what it is. I do think that Emily and her conspire behind the scenes to decide who they're attacking, because they really are best buds. And they've stuck together through thick and thin. They never turn on each other, ever. Ever. I mean, Vicki's turned on Shannon. Shannon's turned on Tamra. Tamra's turned on Vicki. That whole group with the Dubrows, they've turned on each other with Heather Dubrow and stuff. Gina and Emily, never, ever. They're solid.
The issue that I have, it's not that I don't like Shannon. I just feel like 2-3 weeks ago, they were in Montana and Heather Dubrow was saying to Gina, if you continue to talk to Matt or talk to Travis like this about Matt,
right,
you're eventually going to lose him because you're going to upset him. And Shannon was just involved and right there. Now, my question is,
true,
is that why do you think it's okay, Shannon, to talk about Travis, Matt, Gina, but then and here's the difference between, say, Jenna Lyons on New York and Shannon. We will never see Jenna Lyons' partner on television. That's the decision she's made.
Well, that's smart.
Shannon brings John to dinner. Shannon brings John to social events. Shannon just doesn't want to talk about John. Right. That is
the difference. Who else doesn't
kind of like someone I work with as a client that you know of that I traveled with recently, that I said, you know, I felt bad for them because they wanted to control the narrative around the press, but they also want to be out there doing big events. How do you do both?
You can't. Who else has a spouse and never brings them around, or a significant other?
I mean, Dina Manzo was in that space.
Oh, Dina. Yeah. Dina didn't bring her dude. Who's Tommy? Tommy. Did you ever see Tommy and Dina's wedding on MTV? It was on MTV
yes, I've seen
years ago. It was so good. It was all at the brownstone and the whole bit.
Who else? I mean, there's been people that have been very.
I'm trying to go from city to city.
There's been people that have been very subtle or very quiet. Big Papa.
Yeah, we never saw him, did we?
There's people that have come in and out quickly. Like Jen Shah's husband should have stayed off TV, not only because she's in prison, but he was a football coach at University of Utah, and now
did he go to prison too? No, because he didn't do anything. What was going on. Oh yeah. Oh, that's good for him, because otherwise he would. Shannon broke the fourth wall again.
Shannon storms off Beador.
I thought the episode was good, except I was confused. I didn't know what John did, what was so bad John did, why they were all. I thought a lot of it was produced, maybe edged. Can I tell you
what I think's going on?
Bring it a little bit. And
can I tell you what I think's going on?
What? Tell me.
It's just a hypothesis. I have no facts to back this up. So I think Shannon, she goes out with John. They I think that John's happy with just going out to dinner, having a good date night. Shannon wishes that there was more after. Maybe it's sexual. Who knows? I don't know. It could just be companionship that she wants someone with her.
Just company. Right.
She goes home, she drinks more, and then she calls the girls.
No, maybe, and she blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And that you're probably right. I can see that. I can agree with that.
And I think that whether she says it or they just feel it, I think that there is this underlying idea that if he's done X, Y, and Z already, what's next? And I think that the only imaginative idea could be something physical. And so I think that that's where the nerves come from for the women. And maybe Shannon knows, like, I think Shannon also is probably in one of these spaces where she stays quiet in front of John because I'm sure he's told her that she's needy, that she's too dramatic, that she's too emotional.
Shannon.
And then instead of telling him how she feels, she goes to the girls to tell them. And so the reason why she's so paranoid about John seeing the footage is because John's going to be blindsided.
Because he doesn't know that she's been talking about him behind his back.
Or that she even feels that way.
Right. Yeah, that could be. That could be. But she should know better by now.
Well, she does.
But she may not know she's even doing what she does, though, either. Because because she drinks and she might not, because like she said to Emily, I don't remember I told you that. She said that to Emily at the end. I don't remember I told you that. And maybe it was because she drinks and she doesn't remember what she's saying.
Yeah. I mean,
that could be it. Yeah. I mean, we don't know. You know, a lot of people think that she drinks a little bit too much. So maybe she doesn't remember what she does. Maybe when she comes home, she's calling people. She doesn't remember it. Doesn't remember what she said. Who knows? I don't know, because otherwise it didn't make sense why she was so upset. None of it has made sense to me. I was very, very confused, but I want no more sex games because we had sex games on New York and I'm over the sex games. Everybody keep the sex behind the closed door. I don't want to hear it anymore. It's all TMI to me.
Yeah, but what I think it is that it's TMI to you, but you also leave your house, travel, go on vacation. You're cultured. You see things. You've heard about things.
Do you really think
you're just gross? Most people are like, whoa.
Really? You think so?
Unfortunately.
Do you think the average person out there is like getting all excited hearing about people's sex life?
I mean, the average person in Benton, Illinois is getting excited about Luann's pants.
I love that show. I don't know. I just think like, I don't know. What's the average demographic of a Bravo of the Housewives?
We'll have to look and see.
Yeah, I would like to know that, because I just think they're doing it as like cheap sensationalism where there's so many other more important things. I don't think most people care about each other's sex lives. I don't care about yours or anybody else's. I don't care about yours. Yeah, actually, exactly. I'm
repulsed by it.
I could say so much right now. But
the same about mine. I don't care. No, I agree. I agree with you.
I was going to say what sex life. I just feel that I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable. There's so many more important things to talk about. I just think that going always to sex it's a cheap and it's no effort there. It's a way to have no effort in the conversation. It doesn't make it intelligent. It doesn't make it provocative. I think it's just like cheap. It's just a cheap way to get a rise and think that people are in care and I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you.
I think it's lazy. How's that? I think talking about sex is lazy.
Yeah. I will say that before we wrap, on Peacock,
yes,
there is a watch along with Sonia and Luann, watching Luann and Sonia at Crappy Lake.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God. Is it so funny?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I got to see it. I got to see it before the next Crappy Lake review. I've got to do that. Yeah. Because they must be just laughing even at themselves.
Yeah. And I think it'll let us know what's produced, what's not.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Depending on their reaction.
Well, you'll have to help me with that. I'm not good at that stuff.
Because like when we watched Jax and Brittany watching Pump, they weren't filming Pump. So for them, it was all as a viewer.
Right.
Whereas Luann and Son, it's like they're on TV.
They're watching themselves. That's weird. I don't know if they'd be good.
Yeah.
I would rather Jill and somebody else who's very sharp. Like Jill and Leah reviewing it would be more interesting than actually Luann and Sonia reviewing Luann and Sonia.
Jill and Bethany watching Housewives together would be interesting.
That would be good too. Yeah, because they would give you, because when they did their podcast, there was a lot of inside information.
Oh, there's another new one. Part 3 is Housewives University grading her businesses.
Oh, all right. Sounds good.
Anyway. All right, y'all. Well, subscribe, like us. We love you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.